What's up, YouTube? Happy 4th of July and happy Independence Day. And today I have a couple of unboxings for you, which does not have anything to do with crypto, well, other than paying for part of it. But to get started, let's talk a little bit about the silver market and PMs in general. Lately, we've been seeing a downtrend, and we've been seeing this back and forth for a couple years now, which is why I started venturing out into different asset classes. Now, if you saw in the very beginning of my channel, I did watches, but that was a lot to tie up in any single item. So sold off a bunch of those, tried out some PMs, which was cool. And it was working out for a while until, this whole spotting problem really became a bigger issue over time. Because when I first started, the spots weren't as bad, but at least when I was looking at them. But over time, as I held them, the spots just kept getting worse and worse, which makes it a risk factor that I didn't want to hold for specifically nicer coins. For the last 8 months, you really haven't seen me get any new issues, and that's mainly because of the spotting, my fear of spotting. So I've mainly focused on generic, and this is no exception. This one is a generic SilverGoldBull bar that's available for spot, which is a good deal. It's only available for first-time customers, so if you want to save it, if you think spot's going to go lower, go for it. Otherwise, just get it, hold on to it, and tuck it away with the rest of everything else. Granted, we are in a down market and a bear market, and at least PMs, but these kind of things you can never really predict, because in a dime, if something happens on another part of the world, like say we send some missiles or something, it can change in an instant. PMs are essentially a hedge on your other asset classes. The important thing is just not to overextend yourself and pay what you're comfortable with paying, and just kind of sit on it and wait. Would I recommend silver as a primary asset class? No, not really, because it doesn't move. But if you're just holding it to offset some of your other things, then sure, it makes sense to hold on to, or even if you just like it. One thing that I like about it in particular is that it lets me save some cash on the side. Whether or not I get a little bit of a loss on it, I'm still putting my money towards something that I can exchange for cash if I need it. I see a lot of stories on forums and all that where they use their metal holdings to, buy property or invest in a business, that sort of thing. To me, it's basically making saving cool again. And this next pickup, I've been waiting for quite a while. I actually had a special request to Mr. Zeke, and he graciously accepted my pour request. I thought it would be cool. I saw this YouTube video where a guy named Street Tips was refining silver, and he used chemicals and literally grew these silver crystals from a silver solution. And the whole process was just very captivating and kind of sucked me in to the point where I had to track it down. I went to his eBay store and picked up a 5-ounce bag. And from there, I was gonna do it myself, but I didn't want to mess up. So I sent it over to Mr. Zeke and asked him if he would pour it for me, because I really love the way his pours come out. And, it's just a sense of respect, and I truly appreciate his craftsmanship when he does these types of pours. And I also wanted another pour from him. So as you can see, this is a 5-ounce bar. It's about as refined as you can get, but it's still, it was more of a novelty, but it's okay. I like the bar. It looks good. It does have its imperfections, but that's not a result of the pouring. It's a result of probably the crystal itself. So in a second, just to check to see if it actually is at least 4/9 fine silver, I'm going to put it on the Sigma and see what the result says. So one of the reasons why I didn't do it myself was just because I don't trust myself. I'm not actually that great at pouring, and I realize that, and I'm aware of that. And, it's also cool to have someone else you respect do one of these things for you, especially when he's been gone for a little bit. And also provided me a lot of advice for when I was getting ready to start pouring. And, I'll do it every now and then, but it's definitely not something that I'll be doing often. So as you can see, it's registering as 99.99 or 4/9 fine. It does have certain spots where it's not coming up per se, but it looks like it's because of the indentations from the stamp. So by all means, all measures, it is 4/9 fine. So one of the other pieces that I really wanted to pick up for a long time, but I never really did, was the Tree of Life. And that's coming up on this next one. And for me, the tree represents a lot of things for me. Specifically, taking the time to develop your roots and your foundation, and then ultimately growing. And then some branches work out and other things don't. It's literally the tree of life. The deeper the roots, the stronger you are. It also represents for me, how I often go into different tangents or different hobbies and I try to learn something different. And I bring it back. I learn something new. I don't actually stay to become an expert, but, it's fun while it lasts. And overall, it's still growth. So this is definitely going to be one of my carry pieces or tabletop pieces that I leave out on my desk because I really enjoy the look of this one. And being 4th of July, it does remind me of where I started from, because a couple of years ago, I didn't own a single ounce of silver. I just had some silver jewelry, some 925 from some trips, and really now I've branched out. I got a good stack going and some crypto. I also was able to build an app and meet some great people, so it's really been a fun journey over this last few years. And I'm kind of curious to see where it's going to lead to, because one thing I like to continue to do is to continue to plant seeds and try to grow more trees or extend some branches. We'll see what the future has to hold. The best I can do is nurture those plants and try to make them grow. If you like what you see, please comment, like, and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.